So I was searching YouTube, grabbing some B-roll for another video when I happened upon a video titled "What Happened to the Verge PC Guy, Stefan Etienne," mixed in with my results. I noticed it had almost 1 million views and it was posted in August of 2020 by a small YouTuber by the name of Signals Away? With only around 7,000 subscribers, and I was stunned to find that people were still that hungry for info on this nearly 2-year-old meme. I was also a little concerned for a second. I was like, wait, what actually happened to this young tech blogger? I hadn't seen anything anywhere. The original Verge video was published way back in September of 18, and I've never seen him really do a response or defend himself, and we all know The Verge made every bad play in the book after the video was posted. But what about Stefan? Does he still work at The Verge? Does he still work in tech at all? How did he fare with such a brutal onslaught of angry PCMR nerds attacking him for years now? Well, I decided to do some research, and I started by watching this Signals Away video to see what he came up with.
I'd list off everything he did wrong, but honestly, this video has been beaten to death more than H3 and Keemstar. I prepared a list of criticisms that I think are semi-objective. Is he trying to claim that he did everything right and the people who are mad are just angry nerds? Or that The Verge screwed him over and it's not his fault?
Unfortunately, it didn't answer many questions. It was a 1 million hit video that really offered nothing extra in the way of information except for a few Twitch and Twitter quotes of Stefan playing down the Verge video.
I work for a big publication. Basically, I made a PC video and some very angry nerds are very angry with how I built the computer, but it still works, so...
The issue isn't with my build process. I've built PCs before. The issue was the shoot. I was rushed, unwilling to do a retake of my build, so there are continuity errors.
Right after the incident, but nothing substantial or recent that actually shows what happened to Stefan. So I started digging deeper, and what I found was that Stefan had been making tech media content for a long time. Looks like he started a tech blog called Laptop Memo way back in 2010 at the age of 13.
Hi, my name is Stefan Etienne, and I'm a 13-year-old gadget blogger for the site laptopmemo.com. It's mainly a technology, news, and opinion-based blog, along with reviews.
That would have put him at about 19 or 20 when the Verge video was posted. Now, I know everyone loves to meme on this Verge guy. I mean, it's been going on for 2 years now. But for a second, just a second, put yourself in his shoes. You're a young, ambitious tech enthusiast. Maybe you went to school to help you get a career in tech journalism. Maybe you worked really hard and your passion lands you a small job at Vox Media, where you're helping create content that you love at a major tech media publication. This is awesome. And then maybe you're a little over your head, but you're making videos for Vox and they expect you to make some content and you're tasked with making this PC build guide video when it isn't really the main focus of their channel. After all, The Verge is mostly more generalized tech gadgets and mobile phones. Maybe some laptops and stuff like that, but a PC build guide was definitely going outside of The Verge's wheelhouse a bit. Okay, so you're Stefan, and maybe you rush through a PC build guide video. Maybe, you're not thinking too much about it, but you're a little bit too inexperienced to be hosting this video. It's a little over your head, but you work at a major tech media outlet. Your editor has to catch this, right? I mean, someone with more than a few years experience is going to watch this video and say, wait, maybe we should get a second opinion on some of Steph's facts. But no, The Verge posts this video, and it turns out to be the biggest mistake of Stefan Etienne's life. A 20-year-old tech enthusiast who was just trying to do his job. Now he's the laughingstock of the tech community. But was this really fair? All right. So, when this came out, I remember everyone DMing me like the day it came out telling me to make a reaction video. And when I started looking into it, Bitwit had already done his video about it. So I thought, I'll just leave this alone. It's kind of funny or whatever. And then rather than jumping on the bandwagon, I've never done content on the Verge PC building video until today. And that was a terrible mistake. Everyone made huge bank on making videos on this. But I've never really watched the whole thing in its entirety. I've always just watched like people reacting to it. So I thought I'd sit down and actually, watch the whole video, film my reaction. We'll see. So let's watch Stefan's beautiful, shittiest PC build guide re-upload.
So a few years ago, TC, or managing editor, built a gaming desktop. PC like this is going to be able to play most games at ultra settings. So what do you need to build a desktop? Well, of course, first you need a table. Preferably not metal. If it's going to be metal, have an anti-static working surface layered on top of it, a thermal paste applicator, an Allen wrench, some tweezers to tighten up the wires, a Swiss Army knife which hopefully has a Phillips head screwdriver in it.
So he just said his old editor or whatever built a gaming PC a few years ago, and then this video was made, and this was watched by his superior, I would assume, and when he put these things on the table, that's where everything should have stopped.
The processor is like the computer's brain, a base of calculations that control everything the computer does. The motherboard is like the foundation, serving as a main structure for all other parts to be added to. It also allows the other parts to communicate with one another, which also makes it kind of like a nervous system. Graphics cards are responsible for rendering and processing visuals.
Those were all great facts.
And now we're really going to start building by adding the motherboard in. Some notes about installing motherboards: they're really delicate, you should be really careful with them. And screw in with confidence, but also don't screw in too hard, otherwise you could crack the board. I chose Asus's Z370 motherboard for two main reasons. One, it had...
So you can tell right off the hop that he is not a enthusiast. He does not watch Linus Tech Tips all the time. No one says Z370 for, it says Z370, Z370. Like, you develop these words like when you get into the tech community, and him saying it like that automatically tells me he doesn't play in this space.
So there's nothing special about this screwing in process. They're just really long screws because they go through the entire frame of the computer.
Okay, he's using... I've had that case before. Yeah, he's using the wrong screws. He's gonna go right through the rad.
And they take forever. We're just matching that cable from the motherboard, threading it through the back, and attaching the 24-pin header to the power supply so that we can have one of the connections complete. The next few additions will be for the GPU, for any specific ports that the case has, for any lighting that the case has, the CPU cooler, anything else really. We're installing the...
It looks like at this point in the video it's getting a little late in the day, so he's like speeding this along, or maybe he's being pressured to someone needs to use this workspace or something, because he's going too fast.
When ray tracing GPUs come out, for example, I'll be able to upgrade without having to buy a completely new system. And if I have a problem down the line, I can always just swap out a part and have it serviced rather than losing my whole computer. And of course, now we also have a computer to test and benchmark games here at The Verge.
So after watching that, you got to admit, it's not as bad as you remember, is it? I mean, I didn't only show you a few parts there, but honestly, there is a big section of well-researched, scripted content that was pretty right and half-decent advice that no one ever gives Steph credit for here. So when it comes down to it, I believe this is all The Verge's fault, and it's really unfair to Stefan that this is what happened to him. Where was the help? Where was the review of his video? And then when it was posted, I know for a fact Linus Sebastian made a video saying, I will go help to The Verge. He said, I will go on there for free. I'll help you clean up this mess just for the media exposure. They wanted nothing to do with it. They DMCA take down Kyle Bitwitt's video making fun of it. And they basically just made every bad play in the book on it. And they ruined Stefan's career. They definitely did, or so I think. I guess I'll have that conclusion by the end of this video, I hope. But from what I can tell, he hasn't been doing too much, and from his Twitter, it says former worker at a few different tech publications. I have a feeling I kind of know what's going on with Steph, but I'm hoping I can get more information. Here, he's on like a snort.
Hey there.
How's it going, Stefan?
Good thing. It's not the first time people have reached out to me with some inability or production value to talk about what happened at The Verge. So I guess we can start talking from here. So now this is the...
Because I'm not, what I've done so far is I've read a little script, because, I've noticed that it's been a long time, and this is
Right.
still like there's a guy that did a "What Happened to Stefan" from The Verge video in like August of 2020. The video still got 1 million views. It's ridiculous, and in that video, he doesn't really tell you what happened to you. But I was just thinking, like, what's you? What happened to you?
You asked me via email what drew me to this industry. Because when I was 12 and a half, I was spending a lot of time on the computer, and I just wanted to find a productive way to spend time on the computer. That's what my parents wanted. That's what I wanted. I grew up homeschooled. I grew up playing tennis. I'm not necessarily a technologist from the beginning. I was an athlete, so I have that drive when it comes to things. So that being said, people saying stuff on the internet is so low level for me, because obviously taking public perception is important. If you're a public figure, if you're a journalist, if you're in service journalism, which is a very specific niche, which is what I am a part of or was a part of at The Verge. And those things are important. But if I have all this back chatter, a lot of people thought that like it was weighing down on me and I didn't want to show my face. And that's not the case, bro. Like, okay. I've had people send me death threats. I can read you screenshots of racist messages they send my girlfriend.
Oh,
like,
God.
it's no one deserves that. I didn't do anything to warrant that. Saying that in the middle of a Twitch stream while like the whole snafu is happening, because that happened the week of, that like the PC that I've got here, like I'm quoting that old scene, the PC I've got here or whatever is better than whatever like the average viewer has. I can understand how some people can misconstrue that and take that in an offensive way. I do apologize for that. But the point is, I apologize more than once through Twitter. Yeah. Years ago, months ago, like whatever. I pinned it for a while. I removed it. My life.
Okay, so you did have something on Twitter about like some sort of apology that was pinned?
A whole tweet storm of like what happened, why it happened.
Yeah.
But to you specifically, what I'll tell you is that I started because I wanted to do cool stuff in technology.
Yeah.
That's the big bubble. I went to school for computer science. I took some time off. I decided to continue to pursue stuff in the industry. Basically, I'm saying that like my position in this industry, I cemented through a lot of work. I've written thousands of posts, been into dozens of events, interviewed hundreds.
I saw videos of you when you're like 13 at like smartphone events and stuff.
Like that does not sway me. What bothers me is sort of the angle that you're coming from, which is that The Verge allowed something like this to happen. And I, under contract, am not fully allowed to even talk about everything that went wrong there. But what I can say is that obviously it was not solely my fault. I was the one who came to The Verge with the idea to build a PC because I had built PCs in the past. They told me that my original script, which was going to be a half-hour long video, because I told them I don't see how I'm going to produce a whole how to build a PC video in less than 15 minutes. Nobody does that. If you're doing that, then you're just like doing highlights of things and being like, here goes here and the processor goes here. And so the day of the shoot, pretty much their whole plan changes. But
now I actually watched the video again this morning. Now that I watched it in its entirety again, it's not that bad. Like you make some silly choices and stuff, but there's a lot of well-researched graphics and stuff in the. It's well done.
Yeah, no, I make some silly choices because they're literally like staring me down. Like, I'm willing to do this only because it seems that you have a genuine angle coming from this. But like, literally, they told me, like, can we wrap this up so that we can finish early for 5:30?
When I watched the video this morning, I was recording my reaction, and I literally looked up about a third of the way through and said, they just started rushing him, because I could tell you started doing things like way faster and stuff halfway through it. And then again, it could have been fixed up pretty easily had they handled it better. I know Linus himself was like, I'll go and help him make a computer and it'll be a great turnout. If they had done that, it would have looked great for everybody.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's and now as being independent, as being myself again, I can pursue something like that.
Okay.
And I do plan to. I actually have had multiple manufacturers that I'm close to. I know many different, CEOs and executives. Like, I'm actually vested in this industry. I think that's what people don't understand. Like, as if I had just come onto the scene and Verge threw me a bone. They're like, hey, come work here. You could be a cool diversity hire. No, I've been paving the way for myself at every publication I've been to. I've been the youngest person, youngest writer at every publication I've ever worked at.
Cool. Well, I'm glad that you're doing all right. Like, you're just independent, or like, do you have a job outside of tech and stuff like that right now?
The reason why I'm not publishing like reviews every other day, and I'm still talking to companies, I'm still like testing products, is sort of because the situation didn't kill my fire for it, because I continued working at The Verge for many months after. I had work fatigue, I had burnout.
Yeah.
Don't start working when they're 12 and a half.
And you know what? Thank you. Like, you're a really nice guy, man, and I hope that all the world that you get the tech stuff figured out, or you're doing well in life, because you seem like a really nice guy, and I really don't think you deserved the focused hate. And I think that wouldn't have even happened, like, even in 2021.
I do get encouraged sometimes by the community to like at least start publishing more independent stuff, because they want to at least see new content come out, and I do get that. So I am working on stuff, doing actual real world stuff that, the way that some of these people make it sound, that like my whole life would cease because this didn't go well. And that's not how life works. And
well, honestly, it can be how life works, but it seems like you got a handle on it, man. I thank you very much for your time. I honestly didn't think I'd be able to video chat with you, so this is cool.
Cool, man. Well, have a nice day. Ping me when the video comes out. I'll probably tweet it if it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a nice day, man.
All right, you have a good day. Thank you very much. Oh, well, that was a lot of fun. I gotta thank you very much. Say thank you very much to Steph for coming on my silly little YouTube channel. I'm just happy you did it, man, and I'm glad to see you finally, got some words out there, because I did a lot of research on this. I did a lot of, archiving of all this video from the beginning. There were so many reaction videos. No one ever even mentions that this isn't fair for Steph. Everyone hated on him so much, and you might be like, well, it's justified. He didn't know how to put thermal paste on. It's justified. He didn't know what single versus dual channel RAM is. It's justified. He called them tweezers. No, it's not justified. He was a 20-year-old. Imagine, there's a lot of you out there, I'm sure, that are watching that are over 20, okay? It's your first big job. You went to school. Maybe you're a year into it, and you get the Johnson account and you make a really, really big mistake. And maybe you get in trouble with it, but it didn't probably affect your whole career. If you're 20 and you make a mistake in your job, you probably get a couple do-overs. But because of the perfect storm that Steph was in, he didn't get any do-overs. And no one came to his defense, not Vox, and the tech media it didn't really seem like anyone was saying, this is a human being. This is someone that maybe it's funny we should make fun of, but we should get at the root of the problem. It's that Vox didn't do their job. It was their fault. And yeah, he's taking responsibility for it. Steph said, I'm sorry, I could have done this better. But in the long run, he didn't deserve what he got. And I think that's something that the tech community really owes him an apology for. So I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. In the end, I asked him what happened, or the whole video asks what happened to Steph, and I asked him, about his career, and he kind of tiptoed around it. I have a feeling Steph is working a normal job right now. His whole, notion of it didn't affect him, it obviously affected him. And I think what this video could serve as is a jumping off point for him to start his own independent YouTube career or tech blog career that actually blossoms into something nice. So go follow Steph, Steph_Etienne on Twitter. He's got his website Laptop Memo. I know it's kind of laughable that he only has 40 subscribers, but go subscribe to his young YouTube channel Laptop Memo, and give him some words of encouragement. give him some, give him that apology that the tech community really owes him, and show him that this community can, give him some love and let someone have a do-over. And you know what? Forget Vox and forget, the whole Verge, the whole media thing, and that they should have done it better. Let's just serve, up a nice glass of welcome back, and we hope you're okay to Steph. And I hope he's doing all right. So this has been Timmy Joe, and thanks to all the Patreon people that have been popping up on the screen. This is an interesting video subject, and I don't know, I really wanted to make sure that this guy was okay. I honestly, I just don't think he deserved the hate that he got, especially not racist comments and stuff. It opens up this can of worms, right guys? Let's be better than that.